Good morning. Good morning to everyone out there. It is Wednesday, August 5, and we're coming on the air with reactions to President Tinubu telling military personnel that in just a couple of weeks they can expect up to 80% higher salaries. Why some are celebrating the move while others are saying it's too little, too late. Then over in Ukraine, police putting out this very disturbing clip, which appears to show a Russian drone literally hunt down a Ukrainian vendor before attacking him on the spot. Incredibly, he survived the attack. Then, Burna Boy just revealed that he'll headline the London Stadium for the third time, breaking his own record as the only African artist to ever do so. Why he's sitting on top of the world. Let's dive right in. I'm Anieze Osakwe in for Ojiokpe, and this is What's Trending. Now, before we get into the show, let's see what you're talking about. As always, we're looking at all the conversations happening right now on X, Facebook, or YouTube Live, Leke, of course, and these are the three Buzzy stories this morning. Trending at number one, unbelievable video of a car in Abuja after a mechanic decided to take it on a joyride. And get this car had initially just gone in for a basic oil change. Trending at number two, the inconceivable story about how a man on death row in an Osun State prison has reportedly been doing TikTok lives. Yes, streaming online from his jail cell. We'll bring you all the details later in the show. And trending at number three, people online are absolutely stunned at this massive crowd of people at a gold mine in Taraba State. Why illegal mining is so popular over there. But here's where you come in. Join the conversation. Use the hashtag What's Trending with Ojiokpe. Comment on our live feed and on Leke. Tell us which of these stories matters most to you, because for the next hour, we are getting into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, reactions are trailing some pretty decisive comments from FCT Minister Nyesom Wike that any political candidate should forget about Rivers State because, according to him, that state is for one person and one person only. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's watch.
What was going to happen in this 2027 election? And I've seen it, and I've said it in reverse. I made you come out to say election had been rigged. Let these people not vote. I am telling you, let nobody make a mistake. If anybody is counting rivers, go now and cancel it. The only person that can count rivers is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm not talking because I'm talking as a political realist. I'm talking because my people know. You see, the point is what you should ask. Once you build confidence in people, once people trust you, people know that anything you tell them is likely to happen. And you don't go to government without carrying people along. Nobody can say to you as a minister of FCT, even as a minister of FCT, that Rivers people don't feel the impact. No, certainly not.
Rivers. Now, these comments are coming just yesterday in Abuja during the minister's media chat, and they've sent social media into a frenzy because the minister was unambiguous in his statements that Rivers is signed, sealed, and delivered for Tinubu, and that anyone even thinking about the state is wasting their time. Now, this is coming on the heels of the current governor, Sim Fubara, now back in Wike's camp, but as the leaders in power plot over electoral outcomes, the big question is, what do the people have to say about all of this? And we'll get into what the people are saying. But first, let me say good morning to my people, the morning show people, Rufai, Ayo, and Dr. Abati. Good morning. Great to be with all of you this morning.
Good to see you.
Yes, and a lot of stories today. So we'll take the first reaction on X from Fest, who says, these are statements that motivate voter apathy. The audacity. As always, nothing wrong with democracy, but a lot wrong with politicians who have no regard for rules of engagement and people who aren't holding them accountable. Then Ayo Joy Boy says, Wike is openly telling Rivers people their votes only matter if they go to Tinubu. This is how confident they are in the system. Democracy is an intensive care at this point. And that last, point of that tweet really stood out to me. I mean, is democracy in Nigeria essentially in the ICU?
No, we don't want to promote that. It's not in the ICU. We keep hope alive. I'll ask anyone. That's what I'm saying. I'm keeping hope alive. I don't need a second argue, but I want to maintain because, like you said, or one of the ex-users had said, what we don't want is to promote or induce voter apathy. At the end of the day, every time, or for anyone who chooses not to go to the polls to exercise their franchise, you give an opportunity for it to be easy to rig the process. And that's why I encourage everybody, whether during the Osun elections, which is the closest to us in August, and then the bigger elections come January of 2027, go out there and vote. Now, to Minister Wike's point, I'd like to ask everyone to refer to Dr. Abati's statement earlier today. I thought he gave quite very sound advice to the FCT Minister himself, and also just an analysis of the state of play currently. But let me say something. What he was doing is what we call mind games. It's political big speak. It is psychological warfare. It's almost akin to what boxers do before a boxing match, where you come out and say, I will finish him, I'll kill him, you're this, you're that. And then it is an attempt to weaken the psychological nature of the person who is their opponent in the ring. What you must not do is to take that in as fact or allow it to then determine your reaction or your actions or reactions based on what he has said. Minister Wike can make claims that he wants to make. He can say all manner of things. But at the end of the day, he has one vote for one man. Mm-hmm. It is the Rivers people, the people of Rivers State, who ought to and who should and who will determine who emerges as winner in that presidential election. Not, yes, you can have political influence, you can have your political structure, but every human being was born with a brain, and everybody has that one thing that they have a right to, freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. The right to exercise that is your prerogative. So if you decide to give it to somebody else, then that's on you. And that's why I believe that a lot more sensitization, voter education, awareness, from primary school or right from our educational system should educate the citizens on the power that they hold and the will. So irrespective of what comes out of political actors in this, state of we own everything, you would be able to counter that we actually know you can still mobilize depending on who you want to vote for at all. Then the other part of it is that all these things I'm saying around one man, one vote, your vote matters, has to be backed by action by INEC themselves. INEC has to demonstrate to the people that they are ready to ensure a free, fair and credible election where every single vote matters and where they leave little or no room to opportunities for rigging or taking or hijacking the process by political actors. This is what Nigerians are asking for. If that is in place, then anybody can come. I can come on TV today and say that nobody owns Lagos State. It is the family of the Thompsons that own Lagos. That's me saying that. So but also, then the final point on this is responsibility of political actors as well. Like the last ex-user said, unfortunately, we are not yet in the place or position as a people where our sense or level of political activity or knowledge is heightened. And so a statement like that can mislead people or implicate you. Is there something that you know that we don't know? Is there anything that you're doing that we are not aware of that it goes against what should be a proper political process? So he has to take responsibility for his speeches because of the influence that he wields. Right.
Rufai, you counter?
Ayo, yes. I want to counter all the things you have said. And with due respect, I understand your point of view. We need to give them confidence. And Dr. Abati, I want to counter what you said earlier. But with due respect, Wike is right. Rivers, go and write it down, will go to President Tinubu in the next election. Mark today down. Wike is not saying what he has not done. He's saying what he has done. You know me, I'm from the school of thought of brutalism. We're laughing, we're weary. I even like brutalist buildings. Go back to 2023 election. The BBC wrote a report of the mystery of the altered result in a disputed poll. And they did a deep dive into an investigation into the Rivers State results. Based on what the BBC counted, Obi was supposed to get about 200,000 votes. President Tinubu, a little more than half of that. The results declared in the state capital, President Tinubu ahead of that. This is me reading from the BBC here that we have found an increase of over 160,000 votes in Mr. Tinubu's official declaration when compared to our polling units. Apart from the BBC, the what is it called? 2023 election, Tribune picked it up. I will be defeated Tinubu in Rivers State and all of that. There's been many stories as regards this. And when a man says that, you say he's just bluffing. Secondly, this was the same man that went ahead to say that across all the levels, even Fubara that vied for position in Rivers State, he bought tickets for all of them. That one is not proof enough for you. Third proof, when Fubara made a maladjustment, they went ahead, declared state of emergency, told him to go on holidays. Where were the Rivers people then?
So we should not do anything.
They couldn't say anything. No, I'm not saying don't do anything. No.
Yeah.
I'm saying what is a fair You see, we keep saying we don't want voter apathy. But when we say that, Ayo, we say it as if we think Nigerian people are dumb. There's already voter apathy because they know that what we are doing is a charade already. So with due respect, he's not saying what he cannot do. He's saying what he will do. And we can take a bet on it. I'm not a betting man. If President Tinubu does not read Rivers 2027 election, let's take a bet on it.
No, we are doing journalism. We are not a group of gamblers.
No, we are doing the right thing, Doctor. We're telling them the truth. That's journalism.
As journalists, we don't gamble.
We can take a bet on it if you want.
We just analyze the issues as they are. And I like to say that the first question to ask is who is Nyesom Wike in Rivers State politics? To the best of my knowledge, he's just like any other person who is qualified to vote. And as has been pointed out, he has just one vote. He's not in a position to predict or to announce ahead of the fact what the outcome of that election will be. He cannot sit in August 2026 to say that President Tinubu is going to take all the votes in Rivers State, and those who are already calling the election in Rivers State for any other candidate, that they should go and cancel that because it will not happen. He doesn't have that authority. So he's just embarked on a trip of delusion.
Yeah.
And his delusion should be called out for what it is. The only body that is recognized under the laws of Nigeria to declare election result when it takes place is INEC,
right?
Not any other body. And the point about voter apathy, I don't think that this should translate into voter apathy. The people of Rivers State, the voting population of Rivers State, has no obligation to answer to Nyesom Wike. They have the right as citizens, and they have the right to insist on their rights as citizens, and to go out on election day and make their own informed choice. That's what the electoral process is all about. And the electoral body must give them the opportunity to go out and vote and have their say. And any other person, whether it's Wike or his agents or anybody that seeks to violate that process, should be called to question. And that is why INEC itself has been asking for a National Electoral Offenders Commission. So that people who have the kind of delusion, the kind of megalomania, the kind of arrogance that Wike has demonstrated can be called to order. Because this democracy, the duty that we have as citizens is to be vigilant and to defend it. Anybody who says anything to the contrary should be called to question.
To question, to order, all very valid points. You know, one person, one vote, and that's what everyone really wants to see. So let's now turn to the sharp message directed at Aso Rock from a Catholic priest, Monsignor Obiora Ike, who's accusing people around President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of protecting him from the realities on the ground. Now, the priest made these comments in an interview that's absolutely going viral, where he responded to the criticism Archbishop Emeritus Cardinal John Onaiyekan received from the president's team after last week's meeting between the president and religious leaders. Let's watch.
How can Nigerians be abandoning their country? And the president and the leadership, a political leadership, is saying, let us manage, things are hard everywhere. That is not why you are there. You are not just a political leader. You have also a moral responsibility to address the issues of countries. And if you say it's overwhelming, then resign. If people who work for the presidency or work for government or work for even other institutions peddle in lies, in pretense, in fiddling while Rome burns, in not giving good advice, it doesn't turn out good. And to act like an attack dog for great people who are patriotic for our country is something that is not only unfortunate, it is a disgrace. And it's not about defense, it's about listening. People in positions of power must listen, and listening makes you stronger.
And let's be clear here. Monsignor Ike is not saying that President Tinubu isn't trying. He explicitly said that he's doing his best, but his message is resonating with a lot of Nigerians who have this lingering feeling that their lived experiences are totally different from that of the people in this administration. And it's a similar sentiment that's also being laid bare by one of Nigeria's most watched prophetic voices, Primate Elijah Ayodele. And in a clip from his Sunday sermon, he warns about the dangers of being disconnected from the people. Let's take a look.
Bishop, is it Archbishop Onaiyekan of what he have said to the president? Leave him alone. If you like, let him take it. If you like, don't let him take it. There's anger and hunger in the land. By the election, you see people how they will show their grievances. Rice and money will not stop it too. We are telling you the right thing now, to do the right thing. All these, I will call them surrogate aids. Right? They will push you to fire. Pam. When fire burns you, you will be the only one to cry. Tinubu, if you lose this election, it will pain you seriously.
And Rufai, I'm going to come straight to you on this story because it just feels like the religious leaders are in a lot of ways putting words to what a lot of people are feeling, but they don't necessarily have access to the president. So, people are really rallying around what they're saying.
No, but what they are saying is getting to the president. I mean, Dr. Bati served in the villa. He can tell us some total of media exposures and media talk and things is always submitted to the president. So there's no how the president of the country will not know about all of these things. He knows. But you see, the thing about him is, it's about the ideas. He thinks this is the best thing possible. But there's also another way to doing things. So, public opinion and public backlash. It's not that he's not aware people are not saying it. On the three last interventions of the president, especially when he spoke to the Catholic bishops, and he also spoke to the Oyo State traditional rulers, he pretty much reacted to what was aggregated public opinion against him. So if you look at the president these days, he's using most of these meetings he's having to respond to aggregated public opinion against him. That's an indication that he knows. So all of the talk that, they are shielding him, is not aware. He's aware. And he's aware that people are suffering and all of that. That's why anytime he comes out, he tries to justify and advance his own narrative. But you see, there's a difference in which you can announce or advance your own narrative. And the question is your narrative landing? Largely, his narrative is not landing. Because the reforms he's saying he's doing is not permeating through the people that are suffering all of this. So when he says, we pulled out subsidy, we made savings and all of that, yes. When they say, we have reserves and all of that, yes. But that narrative is not landing because people are seeing hunger, poverty, deprivation, hopelessness, insecurity, killings. I mean, we talked about Sokoto the other day, just now. So that's just it. So what is happening in the spaces is a coalition of narratives. And that's why, how many people does he have in his media desk? About 10, 15 of them, or how many of them? Quite a lot of them, about 12 of them. And my brother, Timtokwe Ajayi, Egbobi, Bayon Onuga, my brother Ortega Ogra, a couple of people there. What are they doing there? To be able to shape narrative, but it's now narrative colliding with narrative. And it depends on the one that is landing with the people. Mm-hmm. And he also has a retinue of supporters amplifying this narrative. So that's just it. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's not aware of what's going on.
Abati, I'll take your comments all together with the next few stories, because we also have some breaking news just this morning from Osun State, with the Governor Ademola Adeleke now alleging that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is planning to freeze the state's bank accounts and those of top government officials ahead of August 15, that highly watched, highly anticipated governorship election. In a statement, Adeleke said that this alleged move would amount to lawlessness and was aimed at bringing government activities to a standstill before the polls. The governor also maintained that there is no legal reason for freezing these accounts. The anti-graft agency, the EFCC, has yet to publicly respond to the allegation. And as we continue this 2027 watch across the country, let's head to Oyo State, where the African Democratic Congress governorship candidate Taofeek Adegoke is causing a bit of a stir online after he was filmed buying some boiled corn by the road. This clip is going viral and people have opinions. Let's take a look. And Dr. Abati, as candidates push to connect with their constituents, let's quickly head over to Kano State, where the chairman of Kura local government area, Honorable Rabiu Abubakar Suleiman, reportedly built concrete steps, yes, a staircase, on a road median divider along the Kano-Zaria highway. Apparently, these stairs were built to make it easier for pedestrians to cross, especially women, mothers, and older people. Of course, the project has drawn mixed reactions online, with some questioning the safety around this. And then you also have a human rights lawyer, Abba Hikima, even calling on Federal Road Safety Corps to intervene. Dr. Abati, legally, how was this allowed? And I know there were a lot of stories, but they all essentially tie into different candidates trying to connect with the people, whether it's with corn, with staircases. I mean, what are we supposed to make of all of this?
Okay, let's start with the chairman of Kura local government creating staircases on that road looks like a highway, right? Now, from safety considerations, I think what he has done is absolutely illiterate. Because if his consideration is to make it easy for the people to cross the road, what we know as the standard is a pedestrian crossing. So instead of doing pedestrian crossing, by doing those steps, it's more or less encouraging the people to cross the road on foot and expose themselves to danger. I think it should be advised, post haste, immediately, that he should remove those steps. If he wants to help the people in his local government, what he should provide is a pedestrian crossing, because that is what is established as the standard that will provide the necessary safety for them, not allowing them to contest with fast-moving vehicles and losing their lives in the process. So that's a no-brainer. As for the candidate of the ADC in Oyo State, who has been adopting the time-worn old method of buying zero-star corn or boiled corn by the roadside, called agbado. He is behind the times. Is he not aware that we have moved from agbado to akara and kulikuli? So if he was buying akara and kulikuli now, we will know that he's abreast of latest developments in that particular method adopted by politicians. But of course, it's not the histrionics that politicians put up that we need. What we need is their commitment, their sincerity, and their readiness to serve the people and to show that they are here for service, not to demonstrate that they are identifying the people by this, schoolboy gestures that they usually put up at election time. As for Governor Adeleke saying that there's an attempt to freeze government accounts and also freeze the accounts of government officials, well, that should be investigated because it looks like an allegation at this time. But even if it is true, then of course it is wrong, because it will be an act of intimidation. It will be an attempt to wrong-foot the opposition. And we have always said that you cannot use federal might to restrict or constrict or frustrate the opposition, and in this electoral process, there must be a level playing field. I'm trying to rush because you have about 5 or 6 topics lumped into one.
Yes.
And to speak about Professor Obiora Francis Ike. Professor Obiora Francis Ike, I think is the venerable of the Catholic Church. He was defending John Cardinal Onaiyekan, and everything that he said is in order. He was saying that the president should abide by the truth and that he has an obligation to tell the people of Nigeria the truth. You can't quarrel with all of that. And that if he cannot do the right thing by the Nigerian people, he is urging the president to resign. The only part of it that I don't agree with in what he said, he was saying that Daniel Biola is not a man you can take serious. No, I disagree with him on that score. We take him serious. He has an important portfolio. He speaks for the president. And when he says something, we can take a look at it. He cannot just say we should not listen to him. But the Monsignor, as you called him, went a step further to say that the president should not listen to people who lie to him. Well, I don't think that the president should surround himself with liars. Now you mentioned the Primate Ayodele, who is saying, if President Tinubu is not careful, or was he so affirmative that he will lose the election in 2027? Well, how is he so sure? I mean, he says he's a prophet. He's a prophetic man, but Primate has said things in the past that did not come to pass. So he cannot be so sure that, by some kind of divine thing, Tinubu will lose the election. We would rather have the Nigerian people make their choice.
Always.
I end with the Catholic Church. 30 years ago, March 18, 1996, these same Catholic bishops, they told the Abacha government, we are tired of dictatorship. Catholic bishops tell Abacha, tell magazine. I think March 18, I said, yes, 1996.
30 years ago.
So the Catholic Church has a reputation for speaking his mind. So when, whether it's Professor Ike speaking, or Cardinal John Onaiyekan, or the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Catholic Bishops is not in the business of fearing the Nigerian government. They've been doing it forever. So it's for, the government of the day to listen.
Very interesting.
And it's good also, maybe, to hear Primate Ayodele, also saying, we are advising President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The other day, it was Prophet, or is it Pastor David Oyedepo? Bishop David. These titles are so important.
There's so many.
Bishop David Oyedepo. Also saying that, my people, you cannot be killing my people due to insecurity, and I will not speak up. What we want in Nigeria is that prophetic church that defends the interest of the people and that speaks truth to power.
Absolutely.
So if pastors want to speak, let them speak. The only part I have a problem with is I heard from God. No, express your opinion as a citizen and say this is how you see it. And it's for government also to consider
and listen.
All informed opinions.
Absolutely. Very, very clear points, and thank you for that little history lesson. But let's now turn to a story that will stop you in your tracks. With a new Premium Times report revealing that a man on death row in Ibarra prison in Abeokuta, Elijah Ayodele, has been going live on TikTok, where he's gained a following, participated in live streams watched by thousands, and even gotten paid by people outside prison. And in a monitored live session, he claims that many prisoners also have access to phones, internet, and a lot more. Let's take a look.
85,000. Chargeable fine. 75,000. What I told them, I'm only number 5,000. It's business day, but you got to low and low. Every little tiny, but you low and tiny, you low and tiny, you know, got to get that. You got to low and low. Found one big guy, only 2,000.
He said that there are 2,000 phones in that prison. His account has since disappeared from TikTok. Most of the clips are gone. It took a lot of time to find those ones. And for context, Oyebode has been on death row since 2019 for conspiring to kill an Osun State University student. In the report, the Nigerian Correctional Service acknowledged the security vulnerability and contraband smuggling, but emphasized that they maintain a zero-tolerance policy for unauthorized gadgets. And I'll take all of your reactions, but let me just take this quick one from Jabriz on X, who said, "A man sentenced to death for the ritual murder of a final year student is freely doing TikTok lives, collecting gifts, exposing phone smuggling rings from inside the prison. If death row inmates have better internet access than most citizens, then the entire correctional system has completely collapsed. This isn't just a security failure, it's a national embarrassment." And I haven't yet gotten a sense of what his actual fate is now. I think in the report, the Nigerian Correctional Service hasn't said what the repercussions are for streaming on TikTok. What do you make of this?
There are a lot of things that happen on Nigerian social media, honestly, like a lot of madness that goes on. Even though he wasn't incarcerated, isn't on the same TikTok that the terrorist was doing giveaway and Nigerians were there asking for money for the terrorists to give them. Funny, but not funny. The truth is that, like the statement release said, I haven't done my research and things haven't changed. There's zero tolerance for use of communication devices in correctional service centers. But what do we see? A violation of set down rules, laws, regulations within these centers. It's in the same, if we're to do an expose on what is going on currently in the Nigerian Correctional Service, we're going to have years or shocks, ripple effect across the country. It's in these correctional services that you have room and parlor. You have special centers where people can, almost have like a little bungalow. It's in this correctional service recently that a well-known figure came out and a few months later did baby dedication, and people have been trying to calculate that. How did this happen? Was it supernatural, conception? There are many, many issues that that is wrong with the Nigerian Correctional Services. So what we'll keep asking for is an overhaul, a rejigging of the process. But unfortunately, and it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take people who are not corrupt. So it speaks to a larger problem that we have in the nation, where different centers, different MDAs are plagued with corrupt officials who would compromise their rules, set down rules and regulations in exchange for money, influence, or power. This is what we see across board. So maybe let me just use this opportunity to make a call to the Ministry of Interior, who is responsible for the correctional service, that they should look into a reformation, rehabilitation of our correctional services. On one hand, there are people who are languishing there, who are living in penury, and it defeats the purpose of the name being a correctional service. People that go in there and come out, a shadow of themselves, not able to integrate back into society. On the other hand, there are people who are there who are living large and are not even facing the consequences of their action. So a whole total overhaul is required.
Right.
But as with a number of centers in Nigeria, we'll keep speaking, we'll keep talking about it. But I hope that whoever is responsible, culpable in the Ibarra prison service should be investigated and should be brought to book.
Absolutely. Rufai, and then Dr. Abati, or...
Okay. See, Ayo, I get all what you have said. But again, I disagree with you. You know why? I'm a brutalist.
You're pragmatic.
I'm very pragmatic. I don't speak English. I don't deceive myself. Like I was Ilutila, Dr. Abati. The country is gone.
No, I must keep hope.
No,
See.
I'm an optimist.
No, I'm an optimist.
patriot.
Yes, I will continue to.
Okay,
There has to be a
patriot.
good somehow.
No, I'm a patriot too. But a patriot is also a brutally honest person.
Okay.
You know, that's why Henry Thoreau said the only place for a just man in an unjust society is the prison. Because a just man will always be put in the prison because he will never align. Way back the 80s, big shout out to Archive and the work they do. In fact, I think I should be able to get some donation across to those body of, NGOs where they archive newspaper materials. Can we have a one house, please? Big shout out to them. In the 80s, there was a story of somebody that a warder helped to go collect money while this person was in prison for a drugs case. And they brought the money in. You know how they were exposed, how they were reviewed? When there was a disagreement on the sharing formula of the money they collected between the warder and the prisoner. This was way back in the 80s. And it has just gotten worse off. We were here when we were reviewing the Bobrisky matter now. If it's not because of Very Dark Man, are we even going to know that transpired?
Yeah.
Thanks to Very Dark Man. So, is that only one you say they have room and parlor and everything? It's an ecosystem. See, prison is like hotel. It's how you have money, you enjoy yourself.
Okay.
You can take Dr.
Abati.
Executive suite.
Ayo.
Okay.
It's how if you have money, you can have presidential suites. You can do visits, you can do anything and all of that. So the question is, if somebody goes to bring, ask them, do you have money? Because it's how you have money, you enjoy yourself. So all of this, you think that the warders there do not know that he's doing all of this live stream. Who is charging the phone for him?
Right.
Who is supplying the light? Who is buying all the needed things? He talked about drug and all. Who is bringing all those things? You think it's not an ecosystem?
Those are the questions.
It's the way you have money, you enjoy yourself. So forget it. So see, the Nigerian prison system is gone. You see, they now went to, they thought by changing the name to correctional facility and which correction? It's not correcting anything. What we can call on them is a systematic way to change the culture, which will never happen overnight, which needs a lot of sincerity. So the very first question we should ask is, where is the reconnaissance service that goes on in the prison? Thanks to Fisayo Shoyombo. Fisayo Shoyombo acted as a prisoner to be able to get us into what happens in the prison, and he made that big revelation. If Nigeria truly wants to change, it is not Fisayo Shoyombo that's supposed to be doing that work all the time.
Right.
It is the government that should have mystery choppers, deliberately infiltrate the prison ecosystem, put people in the prison that did nothing wrong, but they should gather information and start to solve the problem from within. That's how we can start to change culture, if those people will not be corrupted in no time.
I mean, what a story.
Okay. I think the subject, this is the way I see it. In August 2019, August 15, 2019, to be precise, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Nigerian Correctional Services Act of 2019, repealing the Prisons Act of 2004. And we said at that time that, look, the kind of reform that you need in the Nigerian prison system, correctional system, is not change of nomenclature, that it has to go further. Now, this is the dilemma that we face, that, a man in prison could be behaving as a free citizen. They will justify it and say, well, after all, it's correctional service and all of that. You can also argue from that angle. But the truth of the matter is that the reform that we need in the prison system in Nigeria has not yet happened. One, the conduct of the warders. The warders, their complicity has already been explained by Rufai Oseni, and that is part of the problem. Okay, the title change. Why about the training and the conduct of the warders themselves?
Right.
The second thing is about the state of the prisons. Now, that picture of the prison in Ibarra, Abeokuta, or the picture of any other prison anywhere in this part of the world, these are colonial prisons. Those prisons need to be demolished and rebuilt. And that's where the Ministry of Interior comes in, and President Tinubu comes in. Those prisons are colonial structures. They are overcrowded, they are poorly maintained, they are run down. That kind of environment is not a place where you can find any correction. Yeah. And that's why this particular guy is talking about whatever drug you want to buy inside any prison in Nigeria, you will get it.
Unbelievable.
3, this particular candidate whose matter you are reporting has been on the death row since 2019.
Yes.
He was sentenced to death by hanging. Are you aware that one of the major problems, one of the major areas in which we have unemployment in Nigeria today is that we don't have enough hangmen in Nigeria? People say there are no jobs. There are no jobs. But if you count in this country, you don't have up to 10 hangmen.
Okay.
It's a job nobody wants to do.
Right.
So maybe they should recruit more hangmen so that when justice is given, when judgment is given, justice is delivered.
And on that
otherwise, this particular fellow will no longer be on TikTok. But we don't have hangmen in Nigeria. So for all those young men out there who are saying they are very confident looking for jobs, there is vacancy in Nigerian prisons, correctional service, for jobs to be hangmen. The bigger problem, however, is that many of our governors refuse to sign death sentence. They will tell you that, okay, you know, what they cannot create, they cannot destroy. So there are so many dimensions to it. I'm just saying that it's a very complex issue. But one way forward is for the recruitment of more hangmen. Who can ensure that justice is done.
I mean,
because the governors will not sign, Dr. Abati, so there's no need for them.
You never know.
Catch-22.
Some governors will sign, but there's nobody
except
to carry out the ruling. So that particular fellow is enjoying the fact that there's a shortage of hangmen.
I don't think people would not want to take that job. What's the remuneration? What are the benefits?
We'll look into it.
You can investigate. You can consider it as a part-time engagement.
Exactly.
I'm sure
we'll look into it. Let's move
now.
Let's move now. I mean, what a story. What a story. And great submissions from everyone. And we'll stay on this idea of TikTok lives because Nigerians online are totally divided over this next story as well, with reports stating that a soldier in the Nigerian army was allegedly arrested after he logged into a TikTok live in his military uniform and asked a content creator, King Pedro, for money because he hadn't eaten. The claims are shocking, and all of it was caught on camera on Saturday. Let's watch.
Been in 5 years and he no get sense. No say you no supposed to wear army uniform. Come and live stream. They ask person for money. Una no get sense. Some of una they supposed cut commercial. You go inside they open it with you now until you go see me yourself until you go see yourself on social media. Now that time your ear go clear until they come out that uniform for your body. Now that time your eye go clear. Una go wear army uniform. You go inside they joke with you. No worry. Una go wear army uniform. You go they come on live stream. The third person say you have not eaten. I don't even get respect for that army uniform where you wear. You don't have respect for that uniform where you wear. You go come on live stream. The third person say you never chop. You don't have shame. Even if you don't have shame, you cannot respect the uniform you are putting on. The uniform you are putting on. Some of you they're supposed to lock you in that room. After locking you in that room for so long, they will be caught martial.
Dr. Abati, I'll take your very quick comments on this story. This soldier is said to be attached to the Nigerian Army Aviation Hangar in Niger State, and online reactions are mixed. On the one hand, the official uniform is obviously a symbol of discipline, national service. But on the other hand, it's concerning to hear him say that he can't afford food. I mean, the Army has not publicly released a statement on this particular incident, but it's also coming right as President Tinubu on Tuesday approved a 30 to 80% salary increase for the armed forces, saying the people who help to keep us safe must be supported in their course of duties to the nation. But what do we make of soldiers being on TikTok lives? I mean, TikTok is such a central topic today. You know, your response very quickly.
What we know, what we have heard, what we've been told is that soldiering is a noble profession and that, you know, it's meant for people, serious-minded people. And that's why they have the rules, not just in the armed forces, but also even in the paramilitary services, that there are certain things you cannot do when you are in uniform. Even eating when you have your cap on is not allowed. And then there is a rule about the use of the social media that I think both the police and other agencies of government have had to point out, that you can't just go on social media as an officer. So this particular officer is guilty as charged. He was alleged to have been begging for money from a certain King Pedro. But the latest that we know is that he has since been arrested. He was found in Badagry, far away from his place of deployment. And the authorities, the military authorities, I guess, would address this matter in line with their rules. But the basic rule for those in uniform is that that uniform has to be respected. But we have reached a level where even policemen board public buses, and they say they are officer. And an officer or staff is not expected to pay transport fares. So when you have officers, so-called, presenting themselves as motor parked outs, that is how bad they have taken the reputation of the uniform services, and that is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
I got it, man. Somebody said, advice to politicians, please do prison reforms and take care of the prisons well, because a lot of you will normally retire to that place.
Wow.
That's good.
That's a good advice.
Thank you for that comment.
Because a lot of politicians retire.
The Senate is where many of them retire.
No, but a lot of them.
Okay. We'll continue.
You want to see a lot of them in Kuje? They go there a lot.
We'll continue this conversation. We need to move now to our good news report. With Pastor William Kumuyi, the General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Christian Life Ministry, who's officially been recognized by the World Book of Records in London for his contributions to education, humanitarian service, and global outreach. Now, the World Book of Records is an organization that honors the unique achievements of people going above and beyond in their communities. Pastor Kumuyi was awarded in the Excellence E1 category for his contributions to education, leadership, and humanitarian service. The initial announcement coming from Pastor Kumuyi himself and posted about on X over the weekend, with the pastor saying he's humbled by the recognition. Kumuyi also revealed that within the last 5 years of establishing Global Crusade, an evangelistic ministry, he's reached over 50 million lives.
The Excellency Certificate, today we are announcing that he is entering into the World Book of Records. For a certification, I'm handing to the Dr. Kumhi.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in Christ, we have many teachers, but many number of fathers. The father of millions, a motivator, an excellent speaker.
What an incredible achievement. Congratulations to Pastor Kumuyi for continuing to push the limits of what's possible when you're focused on your mission. And now under Milestones. And today we're celebrating one of Nigeria's major industrialists, the founder and chairman of the BUA Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu, who was born on August 4, turning 66 yesterday. Now, Rabiu was born in Kano in 1960 to an established business family, with his late father, Abdul Samad Isiyaku Rabiu, also being renowned for being one of Nigeria's biggest industrialists in the 70s and 80s. The younger Rabiu set up BUA International Limited in 1988, initially focusing on commodity trading, importing rice, flour, oil, and steel. And fast forward to today, the BUA Group generates over $2.5 billion in annual revenue, with Forbes listing him as one of the wealthiest individuals on the continent. In a statement this week, President Tinubu described him as one of the architects of modern Nigerian industry, adding that he's someone who's consistently built industries instead of looking for shortcuts.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
In a country where so many with capital choose to move it abroad, Rabiu kept betting on Nigeria and its citizens. So from all of us at Arise News, we wish the founder and chairman of the BUA Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu, a very, very happy birthday. We'll now take our final story under entertainment, with the Afrobeat superstar Davido lighting up the stage at Cabana in Toronto. The Grammy-nominated artist gave this surprise performance as part of the Urbanova Festival pre-party on Sunday. Let's watch. Love that. We love that song on What's Trending. And I believe that Davido is also supposed to be doing a press conference for his uncle, Governor Ademola Adeleke, at 11 this morning. So we'll be watching that as well. But that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. Here we have With You, the hit from Davido, that song that we heard just there. Enjoy it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for your great analysis.
Thank you so much.